For question number 5, we're given the vertices of a triangle at point G, 3 and negative 2, H, 5 and 2, and J, 6 and 0. Now, without graphing them, we can apply simple mathematic rules to be able to solve where the coordinates would be after different reflections. So we're going to go ahead and apply those now to see how they would reflect over the y-axis, the x-axis, and across the line y equals x, which is a upwards diagonal line that cuts through the graph. So if I were to go ahead and write my coordinate for G as 3 and negative 2, we know that if it's reflected across the y-axis runs straight up and down. So if I was to reflect it, I would go from either the left to the right or the right to the left. And so the only thing we'll be changing then would be our x point. So the y point will not change when we reflect something across the y-axis. But the way it'll reflect will be exactly going negative at this point. So if my answer was already, if my x point was negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it becomes negative. So for this one, our point G will turn to negative 3, but our y will not change because it does not move up or down. It simply moves left or right. So that would be the change initially for the first part. Now the second one we're given is that the coordinates of G at 3 and negative 2 would be reflected across the x-axis. Now again, think about what we said with the y-axis, how that only moved it left and right. Well, if we were to reflect something across our up and down, or our left and right x-axis, it's going to do the same thing where it'll either move up or it'll move down. Reflections would go across that horizontal line. So rather than just changing our x value here, we're just going to change our y value. So for G prime here, we would see that our x would stay the same at 3. However, our y would now just turn from a negative 2 to a positive 2. For the last one, this one is seemingly a little trickier, but it's actually quite simple as well. Now, if we were to reflect something diagonally, we are going to be not just going up or down or left and right, but both. So in this case, we actually will just switch our x and y points. So this will always be true. You can graph it and take a look. But when our G is 3 and negative 2, and we are going across a diagonal line, it's going to, put it either going up to the left or down to the right. And so our G prime, in this case, would be negative 2 and 3. Now, this one, it actually asks us to do it for all of the points. So we're going to go ahead and apply those to the others as well. So if I had my G as negative 2, 3, the H, again, we'll just switch places, 2 and 5. See how simple that can be? And our J prime will leave us at 0 and 6. So all we did for the last one was switch our x's and y's, and that's how we reflect across the line y equals x.